All right. Well, happy Talent Tuesday, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for this awesome talent series. We are going to be hearing from Jennifer Watson, and she's going to share some great insights with us. First, I would like to go ahead and thank our talent series sponsor, Plant Moran. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. Plant Moran is among the nation's largest accounting firm, tax consulting, and wealth management firm, and they provide a full line of services to organizations in the following industries: manufacturing and distribution, financial services, service, healthcare, private equity, public sector, real estate, construction, and energy. Plant Moran has a staff of more than 3,300 professionals throughout the United States, with international offices in Shanghai, China, Mumbai, India, Tokyo, Japan, Monterey, and Mexico. Colorado, Plant Moran has served its Colorado clients for more than 40 years, with offices in Broomfield, Denver, and Fort Collins. Plant Moran has been recognized as a number of organizations, including Fortune magazine, as one of the country's best places to work. And if you want to learn a little more about them, you can check Plant Moran out at plantmoran.com. So there's our shout out for sponsoring this series and making it possible. So let's see. All right, and then just so you all know, these resources and talent series are recorded, and so you can find all of the PowerPoint slides and the recording afterwards at the Chamber website. And Yvonne Myers, she is our VP of Strategic Initiatives. She runs these normally, and if you have questions or want to get further involved, you can reach out to her. Her email's listed there. Guess I should introduce myself. I am Taylor Hayden. I work at the Fort Collins Chamber as our Business Relations Coordinator, helping fill in for Yvonne today. Very excited to be with you. And I am going to go ahead and pass it over to Jennifer so she can get us going here.
Yay. Thank you so much, Taylor, for having me, the Chamber for having me. I'm just really excited to be here and see all your faces. And for any of you, I invite you, if you have the opportunity, to put on your video. I just find when we get to see each other, we just have this energy, we get to feed off each other in powerful ways. If you can't, I understand. But I feed off you guys too, when I get to see your faces and seeing what lights you up and what you connect with. And I'm just super honored to be here and just fill your cup, hopefully in powerful ways. This is your time. So as I go through this presentation today, remember, this is for you. So if there's something you're like, talk about that more, Jennifer, stop, put that in the message box and let's dialogue more about it. My talks are often really engaging. They're fun, they're intense, they're highs, they're lows, but they're ways to really give you guys tools to really take you to the next level in whatever it is that you desire in your personal life, professional life, and beyond. And I'm super excited about this topic because I think it could not come at a better time as we're going into spring, as we're looking at our second quarter goals and really assessing how we're moving along for the end of the year. So I believe these tools we're going to give you are going to shift you powerfully in the leaders that you are, because we all know, right? Everybody raise your hand, you're a leader, right? You own a business, you're leading. I don't care if it's yourself, one person, or 50 people, it doesn't matter, you're a leader. And when you find ways to tap into that more powerfully, productivity, profit, impact, creating high energy in your environment completely changes in a powerful way. So I'm excited to get started. You guys excited to get started? Can we get a clap? I always am big into high energy, you guys. I know we're probably sitting on our butts. Stand up if you have to. I dance a lot before I get ready for speaking gigs. I have a whole thing I do. I speak across the country. And one of the things I do is dance. There's something that really energetically moves all of us. I don't care if you dance well or not. So if you feel the need to do that at any point, feel free to do that. But right now, this is absolutely your time. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and everybody. And if you can't see my PowerPoint, again, this is going to be given to you guys afterwards, but I do want to kind of use it as just a template as we get going here. So if you can't see this screen, just, put it in the message box. We'll make sure that we deal with the IT now. Okay. I'm not an IT expert. That is not my skill set. I have a team to do that. Can I get an amen? How many of you do not do IT like me? Anybody? Right, exactly. Therefore, this is why you hire out accordingly. Perfect. All right, you guys. So today, I'm going to go ahead and close out. Yes, perfect. Okay. So today, we're talking about what I call next level leadership traits. how to activate your influence, accelerate your success, including money, you guys, and actually working a lot less. I don't know how many of you feel like you want to curve a little bit of your hours, but still have impact and profit. How many of you want to do that? How many want to do that? Yes. These traits I'm going to give you are going to be things that are going to take you to the next level in your business and allow you to accelerate your influence, your impact, your success, your money, and beyond. And these are things I've learned over the years, not just the courses I've taken, but the experiences I've had. And these traits also, I believe, are needed post 2020, everybody. A lot of us know kind of what I call basic foundational ideas of what good leadership is. I know all of you have that, right? I believe we need some next level traits that allow us to transcend, to allow us to be successful no matter the adversity, because newsflash, all of you know this, something's going to come around again, just like 2020, something different or something internal in your business or in your personal life. Having tools to allow you to rise during adversity, rise during times, internal or external, of a stressful environment is vital. And it starts with you understanding how to be more of a next level leader in so many ways. Does that sound powerful or what, you guys? Do you want to step into that? Let's step in that together. So as we go through this presentation, it's important for all of you to think about truly, because it's different for all of us. I really want you to write this down. What does good leadership mean to you? Because that's going to help you with these traits, these tools we're going to go through. What does leadership, good leadership, and I'm talking about in this case, business, okay? Write down 2 or 3 things right now. What does it mean to you? And then what I want you to think about on top of that, do you feel you struggle in any of those areas? What are those areas that you're like, Jennifer, I'm kind of average in, I'm kind of below average in. I know this is something that probably if I move through this, it's going to be more powerful in my team and my life. You don't have to put your hands up, you guys, but write down the things that you feel are needed as a leader. And maybe along those 2 or 3 components, what areas do you feel you struggle in or you need more help in? And maybe you're good at all of them, but you want to take it to the next level. What has been your journey that? Do you feel like you're struggling in some of those areas still? Do you feel like you just want to go to the next level? What is that? Sit with that, you guys. Sit with, I'm excited to learn more about it, and shift the words to, if you're struggling in it, I get to learn some stuff today. Help me in these areas, because how many of you understand leadership is a journey, right? It's a journey of ourselves to not only create leadership within, but to the people around us, to our team, to our community. You guys sit with that right now, what you wrote down and what you want to elevate to the next level. And these tips we're going to give you today, I kid you not, everybody, I teach this in my mastermind courses to my people that I coach, and I'm telling you, they will 100% take you to the next level. Okay. So what's been my journey? I am Jennifer Watson, as mentioned. I'm a high performance leadership coach for entrepreneurs and leaders. And my backstory is I'm a practitioner. I'm a healer by trade. And I had a brick and mortar practice that I opened up in 2008. Okay. And from there, I learned not only business, but how to lead myself, how to lead teams powerfully. And you guys, I'm going to be honest. I struggled in leadership. I always thought I was a natural leader. How many of you have thought you're natural leaders? Maybe that's why you even got into business. Raise your hand. How many of you think you're natural leaders? Okay. How many? If you don't feel you are, maybe okay. Do you feel you need to be? I felt I actually was a natural leader. And you guys, as I started my first business back in 2008, I figured that I really wasn't that good of a leader. And what I mean is I had a certain thought process of what it was that many of you can maybe resonate with this. I had to be strong all the time. I had to look like I had everything together. I had to, behind closed doors, deal with like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can pay my bills or pay my employees, and the stress of leading a team, right? I didn't show a lot of the things I was navigating and becoming a better leader to other people. I didn't reach out to other people to help me. I admit, I think I had a little bit of an ego, a pride thing, like, I got to figure this out. I'm a smart girl. And you guys, it led to a lot of anxiety, depression every day. And I'm like, here's this business I want to give to the world. And I know you guys have that too, that you want to give impact, and maybe you're struggling with that. I know I did. Anxiety, stress, motivation waning, wondering if I was really showing up as a powerful leader, questioning that, becoming less confident. And guess what, you guys, there came a point where self imploded. And what I learned and what I'm going to share with you guys today is some of these tools I learned, and I started making these little shifts. Okay. And some things I've learned even post 2020, little shifts. You guys, how many of you have heard the little shifts is what makes the biggest impact? When I started getting that I didn't have to do it alone, when I started making these little shifts, and some of these tools I'm going to share with you today, you guys, seriously, it was like overnight, my team just created magic. It created this connection with them. It created, like, out of the blue, this ability for them to be more productive and more high performance than ever before. And I just shifted a few things. And through my own journey of learning and through the struggles of falling down and getting back up, I found out what it truly meant to be a leader. And this is what I want to share with you guys today. But does that resonate with you? Have you struggled with that in your own journey? You know, I don't know if you guys are new in business, or maybe you're starting another business. You've been a serial entrepreneur all your life, or maybe you're just growing and you're in this bottleneck and you're trying to figure out how to lead powerfully. You know, I just want you to think about that. Some of these things I just mentioned. Have you felt that, you know, you're kind of always behind, maybe never doing enough? I know I felt that. How many of you have felt that? How many of you have felt that? Raise your hand. That you feel like you're never doing enough, never impacting enough, or always behind. Have you felt that? Maybe you're trying to always be 3 steps ahead instead of maybe delegating to your team, and you feel like you just need to show that you're confident. Really, maybe you're not. Maybe you're saying everything is okay, but like me, you're behind closed doors. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm really nervous. I'm nervous about this expansion. How many of you ladies, all of you are ladies on the call right now, are feeling, or in the past have felt, exhaustion and overwhelm from their business? You guys raise your hands. How many of you have felt that? And you really don't want to show it to your team, and it just leads to more exhaustion. You guys, I'm going to give you some tools today that you do not have to be consistently all the time emotionally exhausted. Okay, period. It's going to go away today. Okay, this is a huge barrier to leaders. And trust me, even if you think you're covering it up, your team sees it, your clients see it. Trust me. Okay, let's get rid of it today. Are you questioning? Some of you said, I don't know. Are you questioning if you're leading well? Maybe you think you were, and maybe after 2020, you're like, Jennifer, I don't still know if I'm leading very well. I don't know if I'm leading my cause, my new expansion. I don't know. I know I felt like a fraud in the past. I'm like, I'm saying I'm leading this team and I'm not leading well. Have you guys ever felt any of this? It doesn't feel good, right? But this is an awesome opportunity to see where you're at. Look at what you wrote down, what you want to expand in today. Look at this. Have you felt these things before? And it's okay, because we have some answers today, everyone, because we need, I'm telling you right now, more than ever, we need each of you to be powerful leaders more than ever. We have a lot of stuff going on out in the world right now, don't we? Beyond our business. A lot of hard stuff that people are navigating. We need each of you to be the 1% leader, the next level leader, to help your team, your people, your community, your clients to create impact beyond measure. And we need to do it with next level traits. Okay. So if you had these traits that we're going to go through, we have 3 of them today. So excited, everyone. But if you have these traits and they're going to make you the next level leader, imagine what that's going to do for you. You guys, how are you going to show up differently as a leader with your community, with a client, with a sales call? How are you going to show up in a team meeting differently if you can really step into this powerful leadership, no matter the environment? How could that affect you leading personally at home? How do you think it's going to affect your productivity, your money, your relationships? I want you to just imagine that, you guys. As you're going through these tools, imagine, how do I look? What am I wearing? Am I smiling? Like, what am I seeing myself becoming when I'm stepping into this next level leader that Jennifer's talking about? Imagine what it's going to do to your life. How are you going to show up differently in these aspects of your business? Think about that. So we're going to go through 3. You guys, I have in my courses that I teach to a lot of next level leaders and entrepreneurs, 12 next level leadership traits. We're going through 3 of them. My 3 biggest dominoes today. I'm giving you the secrets today. I'm so excited about it. So what are they? Everyone excited? Okay. Next level leadership traits. You guys, I love talking about this stuff. You guys matter. Your leadership matters. The first we're going to be going through is resolve the emotion. Resolve the emotion. You guys feel free to write this stuff down. You will get this later, but understand when you write things, many of you may or may not know this, neurophysiologically in your brain, you will remember it. You will imprint it more. You will rewire it to actually align with what you want. So I encourage you to write down some notes here as we go through this. First, again, is resolve the emotion. Second, intuitively decide. Intuitively decide. And third, we're going to be talking about articulate intelligently, speaking, communicating. There are ways to do that now, okay? So the first, everyone, resolve the emotion. How many of us can say that we have a lot of emotions, even in one day, around our business? Drop in the chat what emotions you feel, good or bad. You guys drop them in. We got to talk about this, you guys, good and bad. What emotions are coming up in your business? Drop them in the chat. And if they're some what I'll call, quote, negative emotions, that's okay. If they're positive, that's okay too. We want to take even further, right? Pull those into the chat right now, everyone. What emotions do you experience as an entrepreneur every single day? Every single day, okay? I want you to really think about that. The first step, everyone, the first step in becoming a leader is being able to regulate this emotion. Resolve, what does resolve mean, right? It means to complete. It means to actually get rid of it, to solve a problem. You guys, what do we do when we have a negative emotion? You guys, thank you for sharing these emotions. When we have, I'll call like fear, anxiety, stress, anger, what do, you guys? We go to our phone, we look at our to-do list, maybe get on the, the TV, maybe get on the internet, we avoid it, right? We're like, oh, that emotion just, well, what happens, you guys? We stuff it in, what is it that stays in our mind? It takes up space in our brain that we're not dealing with it, you guys. It keeps us in that low energy. Do you think it affects productivity during your day? 100%. It takes 10 times more effort to get something done if you're still feeling that fear or anger, right? You guys like having a bag of rocks on you, right? Do you think it affects your ability to handle someone that's coming at you? Well, your tolerance to other stressors, of course it does. So the first thing we need to do before we do anything else, you guys, throughout our day, big or small, if you have a negative emotion, big or small, from a bad email, a bad, conference call with someone, maybe you didn't get the sales, it doesn't matter why, whatever the emotion is, you want to name it, just like you did in the chat, name it, because now you're given it acknowledgement in the brain that you're about to deal with it. You're not going to run. You know what the brain automatically starts doing? Oh, wow. She's not running from this. She's not fight or flighting this. She wants me to process this just by pausing and naming it, now feeling it. Where do you feel it in the body, you guys? Sometimes we feel it in the chest, right? Like that our heart or our chest kind of gets restrictive, or maybe in the gut where you feel like butterflies if it's anxiety, right? Think about what you guys wrote down, a negative emotion, and where you often feel it. Just by pausing and naming it and feeling it, your brain starts chilling out. Going, okay, let's start looking for solutions. It starts optimizing the creative zone because now it's not in fight or flight. This is huge, everyone. A next level leader say to me once, like, this is what I paid you the big bucks for. I'm like, yeah, pause. This is like 2 minutes, you guys. Just pause in the moment and let your body and your brain believe that you're going to handle it because you're not running from it. You guys, I want to give some stats why this is so important. It's not just me saying this, okay? Why do we care about regulating and pausing and taking care of this emotion? This is a huge stat. Look at this screen, you guys. A recent survey since 2020 was done. People spend an average of 8 hours in suffering a day. What I mean is suffering in certain emotions, something that causes it and it stalls them. They stay in fear, they stay in anxiety, they stay in depression, they stay in fight or flight. 8 hours, you guys. The average person, this is leaders and entrepreneurs I'm talking about, you guys. 8 hours, is that not unreal? Do you think that if we can resolve the fear, resolve the emotion, resolve the suffering, we can get on with our day and be epic and productive and high performing? Do you think it's going to solve that? Raise your hand if you believe that. Come on, you guys, right? 8 hours of suffering. If I can give you a tool right now to get you out of that, look at what LinkedIn shows. When we can actually resolve emotion and create mental agility, it helps with success in a company. Forbes says it helps with higher sustainability of success. Harvard study showed regulating, managing emotions, you're less likely to experience anxiety, depression long-term. That stalls productivity and performance. Because these are real research studies just in the last 2 or 3 years. 8 hours. If I can give you back 8 hours of your day, would you want that? Yes, right? Okay, so the first step, what did I say? Name the emotion. Feel the emotion, right? They're going to start giving the body an opportunity to calm down and access the creative zone to think of a solution. Okay. Next, what are you going to do, you guys? You're going to now regulate your body, what we call your nervous system. How many of you have done Tony Robbins incantations about being positive that day and trying to do something really good and put it out there, but you're like, I don't believe this. I don't believe this is going to happen. This is because your mind body is not regulated. They're not believing it. Okay. You calmed yourself down. That's the first step. You've taken in the emotion. But if you want to get on with your epic day and do a positive incantation that your body and your brain believes, you have to regulate your body and your brain to believe it together. Okay, everyone? So the first step, what was it? Name the negative emotion, right? Where do you feel it in the body? Doesn't matter big or small. Where is it coming from? Pause. Now you're going to get opportunity to regulate it. Okay. Now we're going to take it to the next level, get you out of that fear or anger and anxiety and move you into a more powerful space. Hope, inspiration, believing the Tony Robbins incantations. Okay. What is that? This is going to be really fun. You guys are going to do this with me together today. How do you regulate? Now that you're here, you're paused. This is a 2-step tool, okay? The first part of the 2-step tool is this. It's called EFT technique. Has anybody heard of this? EFT technique? Anyone? Okay, that's okay. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Tapping Technique, okay? Emotional Freedom Tapping Technique. What this technique is, everybody, we use your fingers to tap certain regions of the body to access energy channels in your body. When you have an emotion in your body that's not good, guess what happens to the energy in your body? It gets stuck. It gets in disequilibrium. You guys, energy is not woo-woo. We are energy, right? Energy is neither created or destroyed. It's like eating bad food. Our gut goes kind of sluggish and gets stuck and gives us symptoms, right? That's bad energy. We have to do something to bring it out, right? And emotion is no different. It's a toxin in the body that causes dysregulation of energy in the body. So we want to get into a higher energy, right? Tapping is accessing points on your body to open up the energy again. These access points are where big energy lies in the body, and they've seen it through Dopplers. Okay, everyone? So when you're feeling anxiety, depression, fear, anxiety, this is going to help regulate and move that emotion through. So you guys are going to do it with me. You ready? You ready, everyone? So this is the EFT tapping, okay? What you're going to do, you're going to take your 2 fingers, okay? And you're going to first start, you're going to be breathing, always be focusing on that. You're just breathing, just regular breathing. And you're going to tap with your 2 fingers, the top of your head 7 times. That's the first access point. Breathing, regular breathing 7 times. Beautiful. Now you're going to tap the middle between your eyebrows, the forehead, 7 times, breathing regularly. Next, you're going to tap with both your 2 fingers on your temples 7 times, breathing in and out, thinking about that emotion that you want to get rid of, right? Where you want to go next. The next point, tapping above the lip, right below the nose, 7 times, breathing. Next, you want to tap your chin 7 times, breathing. And then the final point, you're going to tap your upper arms with your 2 fingers, breathing 7 times. Okay. Some of you may not have the low frequency right now. I know one of the young ladies came on today, so that she's navigating some things. Maybe you're feeling a little anxious. I want you to continue with this technique a little later today and see what happens. It's going to help pull that emotion through, because we're now creating equilibrium in the body. You guys, this is research-based. If you go online, I'll give you guys some research at the end, some links on this tapping technique. What did that take you? A minute. I've done this in between conference calls, you guys, and it shifted me back into a space that I could lead powerfully and get things done. Okay, everyone, maybe right now, how are you feeling, everyone? How are you feeling right now? I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear. Like, just even in the message box, like, what did that feel like right now? Just that tapping technique. What did that feel like? Anyone in the message box? I'd love to hear. Did it calm you? Even if you weren't in a state of like, did it feel good? Did it feel grounding? What would you guys say? How did it help kind of pull you down? Anything. You guys, you can put anything in the message box there. I'd love to hear. Anything that it kind of made you feel. Did it make you feel maybe more calm? Did it make you feel more energetic? Did it make you feel just more centered, grounding? I love it, Taylor. Thank you so much for sharing. I love that. Drop some other things in, you guys. We're always connecting to what it does for you. When it does something great, you're going to want to do it more, right? Everyone, this is great. This is great. The next technique, does that make sense to everybody? The EFT tapping technique. Okay, the second step to this tool is the corpus callosum integration. Have any of you heard of the corpus callosum? Any of you, any medical people? Perfect. Okay, corpus callosum is a membrane that separates your left brain from your right brain. Okay, and yes, Dr. Erica, yes, if you want to drop in the message box, if you have a question, do you have a question that you needed answered right now? Are you good? If you can put it in the message box, that would be great, but we can answer it too at the end if that's helpful as well. So you guys, there's a lot of medical technology to the corpus callosum, but for now, we're just going to say this, a membrane that separates the left and right brain, okay? What this technique does is help balance out the left and right brain to start communicating again. A lot of times when we're in a negative emotion, the brain shuts down. It doesn't want to do a dance with each other, right? The left and right brain have different opportunities during our day, right? When we're in anxiousness and anxiety, the whole brain shuts down. They stop communicating to each other. So this technique helps integrate the information, the communication again between the left and right brain. We activate that corpus callosum. So this technique, everyone, you're going to use your hands, do it with me. You're going to wrap them around and put them right in front of your chest. And then the next technique, you're going to lift your left leg and cross it over your right, kind of like you're crossing your legs. I know you can't see me right now, everyone. And what you're going to do is just sit here and breathe for about 30 seconds. Usually when I have people do this, everyone, just keep breathing. I'm going to keep talking here as you're breathing. When I have people do this in their office, they do it for a minute. That's it. And often will close their eyes just when they're in a calm setting, a quiet setting. Okay. This is a way of moving the emotion through, moving the process through. You guys, these two techniques take each less than a minute. That's what's so great about them. These are rapid transformational tools that can take your emotion, move it through, get you in a better emotion, in a higher frequency to get on with your day, right? We don't have to stall our day with a negative emotion. Let it be rocks in our back. Beautiful. All right, I'm gonna have you unwind. I would love to hear what you guys thought about that technique. Remember, this is about moving you from a space, even if you're not feeling it today, negative space, into a space that is calming, centered, higher frequency, joyful, grounding. I love what she had said before. Right, yeah, can you give the directions for hands and feet, Christine? Yeah, so again, I'll put this in the notes too after we're done, but again, you're just crossing, it doesn't matter left or right hand, crossing the hands like this, just, like that, and then crossing your left leg. It's the left leg over the right, okay? Thank you for that. I've heard it. Okay, perfect. Great, Dr. Erica. Yes, the corpus callosum technique is powerful. Thank you for stating that, Dr. Erica. And we'll go through, if you guys have questions afterwards too, we'll go through that, and I'll have access to talk to me afterwards too if you want more information on some of this as well. Okay, so does that all make sense to all of you? Those two techniques, this is for the first principle, okay? Regulating your emotion, this two-step technique, this takes 2 minutes total, everyone. How cool is that? This is powerful. I know you guys are all busy. You want things to move you powerfully so you move on with your day with high performance, make the money, make the impact for you and your team. This is stuff you can teach your team, which is so great. You guys, when you go, and many of you, we're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but your lower frequency, emotions have frequencies to it, you guys. They've actually assessed this. They have a certain number of hertz to them. Fear, guilt, anxiety, where I'm circling right here, is like 20 to 30 frequencies. As you get out of it and use tools like we just discussed, it starts taking you into more neutrality, acceptance, motivation, takes you up the frequency chain. This is a level of consciousness graphic that Dr. David Hawkins came up with when he studied emotions and when we want to move into a more powerful state, and tools that help you do that. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this. Don't worry about it, you guys, but just know when you're moving through these techniques, you're changing the frequency, you're going to a better emotion, you're changing your energy. How many of you like to be around people that feel positive? You're like, I love their energy, and you want to do more for them and connect with them? Raise your hand. Don't you think your team is going to be in a better space when they feel that you're in a good space? Heck yes. Understand it's exactly what we're doing, you guys. We're changing your emotion into a higher frequency with these tools. So you can now be in peak performance without stress. You can be in happiness and productivity and not feel exhausted and overwhelmed by the end of the day. This is huge, everyone. Okay. This is my quote. This is my quote. It used to be called Jay Watts because I was an athlete. A person that can master his emotions, his or her emotions, express their higher frequency, will influence others to do the same. You will win this game called life and your business. You guys, the more I am interviewed on podcasts and doing things on stage, this is the big domino with all the other traits, because it takes so much of our energy and robs us from doing things we need to get done for the day. Don't underestimate these tools, okay? The second tool, you guys enjoying this? Does this all make sense? Put in the chat box if this is helpful so far. I'd love to hear. You guys, this is big stuff. This is stuff that I teach all the time with my clients, and it makes such a difference. Let me know how this is feeling on you. What is it doing with you? What is some ahas you're already experiencing? Put that in the chat. I would love to hear from you. The second, you guys, the second next level leadership trait, intuitively decide. All of you that are on today, I work with men, but all of you that are on today are women. Women naturally are gifted in intuitive decision making, okay? It's a beautiful thing, but the irony is, as leaders, we still stunt that beautiful gift of ours. Men can learn it too. So you guys, when you watch this recording, you can learn this as well. But women, this is a natural gift of ours. We've thwarted it for a long time. This is such a powerful tool. And I want to teach you guys how to amp it up more powerfully. How many of you feel that you're highly intuitive? Put it in the message box. Do you feel you're pretty intuitive? On average, I'm not very good, Jennifer. How many of you feel you're highly intuitive? Go ahead and put that in the chat box. How many of you feel that you're intuitive? Maybe on a 0 to 10 scale. 0 being, I am not intuitive at all, Jennifer. 10, like, I've got it, Jennifer. I don't need this. But where do you guys think you're at? I'm going to go ahead and just look at the chat box here. Everyone, highly, that's great. Highly sensitive, highly intuitive. Anybody else want to add? I love it. 9 out of 10. That's great. I love this, you guys. I love this. I love that you're highly intuitive. What these things are going to show you is going to help you break the glass ceiling on your intuition even more powerfully. And for those of you that maybe think you're kind of average, it's still going to help you too. This tool is going to be powerful. How do you even fan your intuition even more? All of you, I want you to write down, this is the first tool, the first step. Okay, this is how you're going to fan your intuition even more powerfully. Your intuition is your antennas to your soul. What is a heck yes versus a heck no? And it's tied to your core values. I want you guys to write down, each of you, on a piece of paper. You don't have to share right now. What are your top 3 core values? Not just in business, but in personal life. What are your top 3 core values? You know, mine top 3 would be integrity, honesty, perseverance. You know, those are just like top 3 that I would say for me. Some of it may be truthful. Some may be connection with others and community, you guys. Some of it may be spirituality for you. Just write down, what are your top 3 core values right now? And if you don't know them, that's okay, everyone. This is going to stimulate your brain. This is going to help you with intuition. Just leave this up to look at even later today. Just try the best you can. What are your top 3 core values? Next, you want to write down, what is your updated right now for second quarter, everybody, your vision for your business? Maybe it's just a specific goal for this quarter. What is your vision for your business? Okay, everyone. This is going to help get really super clear on harder decisions where you're questioning your intuition. Many times, you guys, even though leading women are like, yeah, I'm intuitive, but then it comes down, we have to drop $100,000. Or we're kind of vacillating between 2 really good picks for someone we want to add to our team, or just something that requires a bigger decision. You guys, often we still vacillate. We don't make the decision, right? When you go back to, is it aligned with my core values? Making this decision that feels hard. Is it aligned with my vision? In this case, with my business, you guys, it gets a lot easier. Okay, you guys, especially with tougher decisions. I'm not talking about, you know, figuring out something you want to eat or get from the grocery store, which, by the way, as a practitioner, I taught a lot about intuitive eating. Okay. But this is about bigger decisions going to help you. And when you feel that, you take a big decision, you look at, is it aligned with my core values? Is it aligned with my vision? Guess what's going to happen, you guys? Just like the emotion, we're talking about feelings today, it's going to light you up, right? It's going to create expansion. You guys, next to this, I want you, as you write this down, it should already feel good. What are you intuitively feeling right now? Describe where you feel it in your body. Many of us say we're intuitive, but we don't focus on where we're feeling it, you guys. It's going to help us trust it more when we really get super honest about it. So now that you've been writing down your core values and your vision, like, ooh, that feels good, Jennifer, that feels intuitive. Where do you feel it? Specifically describe it in your body. That's your unique way of describing it and feeling it, everyone. How I describe intuition is going to be different than you, right? That's the first step of intuitively deciding. This is, you guys, I know a lot of you have heard about intuition, but I teach a whole 7 levels of intuition because we still have struggles with it. We still have struggles with it when we're in big decisions. This is going to help you with that, to stick to it and not look back, right? Does that make sense to everyone? Is that helpful? Great. Okay. This is just a little known fact, you guys. Side note before we go into the second phase of this tool. Consistent implementation of intuition. This is just a recent study as well since 2020. Increased productivity by 500%. Think about that, you guys. Increased cognitive function. This is a huge part. It lives in our right brain. When we fan it, it balances out our full brain. It allows us to create opportunities, solutions, AKA better productivity. Is that not amazing? 500%, you guys. This is just another fact I put in as well, everyone. You know, Oprah has talked about this. Elon Musk has talked about this. 45% of executive leaders say that they make their most big, powerful, hard decisions out of intuition over what's on paper, you guys. And they're pretty successful. That's just kind of a side note. Really think about this in tough, major decisions, all right? So the second phase of amplifying your intuition, you've gotten the core values down, everyone, right? You know where you feel it in your body, you know your vision. This is the 2-step tool, everyone. You notice I have 2 steps here. And again, each of these tools take like a minute or so. How do you fan it and amplify it even more? This is like the second and third steps of my 7 levels of intuitive mastery in my programs. But the first step is, now that you got the baseline of intuition, everyone, okay, now you're going to acknowledge what other sense do you find you're commonly pulling in when you're making a decision. And what I mean is, a lot of times we feel it in a certain area, like, yeah, Jennifer, I'm intuitive, this is where I feel it. But often we might hear something like in our head, like an idea that comes to you. Or maybe we get an email and we see something from someone like, yep, that aligns with where I want to go, right? Each of us have an additional sense from our 5 senses: visual, right? Auditory, smell, right? Okay, kinesthetic, feeling, and taste. Each of us have an additional sense that gets pulled in often when we're doing something intuitive. And if you don't know what that is, everyone, play with it. So when something feels intuitive, check in. Besides what we just went through, what other sense do you find consistently comes into you? With me, everyone, often I go through a period where I can hear things that are really aligned with this intuitive decision I want to make, okay? That is really, really huge. So just play with that if you don't know what that is, everyone. And then this is the big thing. A lot of my leading ladies say, I'm intuitive, Jennifer, I got all that. But you know what we do? We don't decide. We don't make the decision because we're still questioning. You guys, there's no good for intuition unless you immediately respond to it. What we have found in research, you guys, intuition, when it comes to you, guess what? Do you guys know this? It stays around for about 7 seconds and then it goes away. Because it wants you then to decide to fan it even more, and then it gives you the next steps. Okay, everyone? It doesn't just hang out all day. You have to get on the mat with it and practice it. One, what we just talked about, describing it, but also be aware that it's going to come in and come out. So say, here it is, Jennifer, immediately decide, and then all these other amazing action steps that you need to take as leaders, everybody, starts coming to you. It makes getting projects done, everyone, can I get an amen? Very quickly. How many of you have systems in your business? A lot of you do. Very important. When you get intuitive, you naturally get pulled to you what systems you need to pull into to make this decision happen immediately, just by making the needed decision. Remember, intuition lives for about 7 seconds and then it pulls out. You guys, I have a great example here. I know this is scary on big decisions. When I opened up my first clinic in 2008 crash, okay, crash, remember that recession? Okay, I had everyone, my family, my mentors saying, oh my gosh, Jennifer, you're brilliant. You have a good business plan, but you're going to fail. You are going to fail. On paper, you want to open this holistic practice. No one believes in holistic care here. You're going to crash. And I remember sitting in the corner of my bedroom. It always happens in the corner of your bedroom, right, everyone? And I remember stepping in and getting grounded, getting out the first step, you guys, the emotion, getting out of fear into a grounded state. Use the tools. Now I tapped into my intuition. What is my vision? What is my core values? What do I want to bring to the world? What else am I sensing? What am I being expansive in? And you know what it was? It was a hell yes. You guys, I opened that clinic against all odds on paper, against everybody that I respected. And guess what? Me and Uber did just fine that year. I made a lot of money, not as much as Uber. They also opened in 2008 crash. But you guys, think about this. What if I wouldn't have opened it? Think of all the people I wouldn't have been able to heal. The other leaders that came from that, the woman that ended up buying my practice, and now she's growing the practice even more and helping people become healthier. Think if I wouldn't have stepped into my intuition, the people that would have been not helped. Think about in your own world, maybe a decision you didn't make, or maybe you did make. You're like, I need to do that more, Jennifer. Immediately decide. Immediately decide, okay? You guys, so just, oops, sorry about that. So here again, when you do that, when you step into your intuition, you guys see what I'm doing here, okay? When you do something that's a heck yes, immediately decide, connect it to your core values and your vision, get excited, right? Think about what you guys are thinking about right now. Your core values, your vision, you're probably getting excited. You're shifting your energy, your frequency, everyone, into a higher frequency where you can get productivity, more stuff done. People in your team are going to feel it. They're going to jump into your cause without trying. It gets so monumental. It gets easy. You guys, how much of you want to get that to get easy for your team and you? Raise your hand. How many of you want to do that? This is what's changing, everyone. Your frequency. You're getting rid of the crappy emotions, getting to a higher emotion. First trait. Now you're tapping, going down with a deeper rabbit hole, everyone. With this intuition, you're changing your frequency. You guys, we all can do it, but we want to tap into it consistently. You've all done it. These tools will help you tap into it consistently, where you don't have to work so hard. People will work for you. Your brain will do it for you. You have to work 8 billion hours a day. I barely work, you guys. And I love what I do, creating impact, because I understand this game. This is huge, everyone. This is huge. Next level high frequency leadership starts with these tools, you guys, and that's exactly what you're changing, okay? Albert Einstein, the intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant, everyone. When you step into intuition, the brain goes, wow, awesome, she's in her flow, activates the creative brain, the creative brain, and brings in your left brain to start giving you all your systems, all the tools, all the things you weren't thinking of before, okay? They mirror each other. We start playing a game together, everyone. Intuition is a sacred gift. Your rational mind is the faithful servant, okay? They're doing a dance together. Don't underestimate it. Third, we're getting there, you guys. How are you doing? Is this all making sense? I'm going to stop share for a second. Is this helpful to everyone? I always want to kind of see, because I kind of going to get going, get so excited. How do we listen to our intuition? We want to collaborate. That's great. I will answer that question at the end. That's such a great question. Such a great question. I love this. I love this. Is this all feeling good to everybody? Is everybody feeling good about this? Is this helpful? Good. I love this. I love talking about this, but I want it to be something that is helpful for all of you. So, all right, we're going down the home stretch, everyone. The third trait, the third of my 12 next level leadership traits. Okay. We need to articulate intelligence. Okay. Articulate intelligence. All that means is you got to get good at communicating, AKA speaking, girlfriend, boyfriend, for those of you that are watching the recording. Okay. You guys, the two things I have seen leaders, because I've done surveys, I've worked with a lot of next level leaders, I've worked with people where bottlenecks are happening. The two things that they're seeing that they're struggling with, their team is struggling with, emotional regulation, still mental health, and communication, whether it be through email, navigating a tough conversation, doing a sales call, leading a team meeting, doesn't matter. They're still struggling with communication, everyone. You don't have to be a speaker like me and be on stage. Maybe that's something that you want to do. It doesn't matter. You have to learn to communicate intelligently, intuitively, professionally, in a way that is safe, powerful for the people you connect with, and learn to change your communication depending on the environment, depending on what someone is feeding you. When you learn that, you become unstoppable as a leader. Unstoppable. So how do you articulate intelligence? First step of this next level leadership trait, everyone, it's more than words, right? All of us know this, right? That's not always what's coming in your mouth. It's more than words. It's getting super aware of everyone and everything in your environment. It's usually something small. And you guys, people are like, why don't I see the small things? This is where you get on the map, everyone. Not so much listening to the words, watching the environment. What's happening to the people in the room? Are they pulling in? Is it one person in the room? Are they leaning into? Are they smiling? I want you guys to reverse a little bit how you listen, okay? We talk about be a better listener, right? Versus always speaking. Yes, a good leader listens more than they speak, but how they listen, I'm going to go deeper, everyone, is listening to the room, the body language, the tone, the atmosphere. That is actually first before you're listening to the words. And I'm going to show you how on the second part of this particular trait. And remember, it's the small things you're noticing. Practice it, everybody. If you don't know what I mean by that, go into a party. It doesn't even have to be work. Start reading people, watching their body language, watching how they move, their tone, because this is what's going to help you with the second phase, everyone. Help you shift things to your favor, that people can't help to want to work with you. Okay. More than words, everyone, in listening in a different way beyond words, watching the environment. Okay. Why is this important, you guys, before we go into the second phase of this? It reduces burnout, everyone. When you're connecting with your team, when you're really connecting and they feel heard, they feel a deep sense of satisfaction, fulfillment. It helps with productivity and reduces burnout. Okay, this is by the National Institute of Health. It enhances employee engagement and retention. How many of you don't want to keep hiring over and over again and filling the same spot? It takes a lot of time to train. It improves efficiency and compliance, everyone. Think about this, everyone, okay? Another research that happened after 2020, over money. You know what employees wanted? You know what clients wanted? Number one, everyone, psychological safety, an ability to be able to speak and feel safe to do so, to contribute to the environment and do so. Think about that, over money, everyone. They want an environment that they felt safe to contribute. Okay. And number two, that they could climb up the chain and be invested more and contribute even more to the company, their impact on your company. Those two things over money, you guys, even people that lost their jobs, that's what they wanted. We want different things now, you guys, including communication, ability to communicate while feeling safe to do so and feeling heard. Okay. So remember, more than words. Now the second phase of this, you guys all know this. Communication is based on 7% words. Many of you have heard this, 38% tone, 55% body language. We just mentioned that. So we're going to go after the tone and body language with the second phase. How do you amplify your communication? By looking at tone, looking at body language. Again, go figure, a two-step tool. Okay, because it's going to be so fun. You want to make sure that you're on mute because we're going to have you sing. Okay. We're going to practice using a song I think is within everybody's range, but you guys want to think of a song when you get off this call that you love singing to, that puts you in intuitive, in a high frequency, in a high vibe state, okay? When you want to learn someone else's tone and learn and read a room, you got to learn your tone first. What empowers you, what excites you, what feels good on you. Remember, it's always about self-awareness first. What tone feels good on you first before you try to assess and become emotionally intelligent of other people's tone and shift accordingly, right? So how do you activate your tone? We are going to sing a song together. And it's from The Sound of Music. How many of you have listened to The Sound of Music? Watched The Sound of Music? Love that show, right? Exactly. We're going to sing Doe, a deer, a female deer, okay? You guys want to pay attention as you're singing it with me. What tone, as we're going through it, feels good to you? What tone feels good to you? Okay, and a count of 3, 2, 1, we're going to sing it together. 3, 2, 1. Doe, a deer, a female deer. Ray, a drop of golden sun. Me, a name I call myself. Fa, a long, long ways to run. So, a needle pulling thread. La, a note that follows so. Tea, I drink with jam and bread. And that leads us back to do, 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 re, mi, fa, sol, la, te, do. All right, you guys, I want to hear. I love singing, even if you're not a Mariah Carey singer, that's okay too. What felt good to you, the lower, the high pitches? Can anybody comment on that? What felt good to you? The lower or high pitches, like just made you feel grounded and expressive and expansive. Can anybody share in the comment box? What felt good to you singing that song? Anyone, the high pitches, lower pitches, what felt good to you? Anyone? The mid-range feels good. That's great. Anyone else? Anyone else? Some of you might have a better Mariah Carey voice than me. That's okay. Remember, it's all about singing your little song. Anyone else want to share what felt good to you? Mid, high, lower ranges? Anyone? You want to practice this, everyone. Whatever felt good to you, sing another song that you loved. I sing also, not just dance, but before I speak, whether I go into a boardroom or a sales call or on stage, I get into my tone that feels high frequency. Remember? Because I want them to feed off me, and then it helps me get aware of watching their tone. Okay. Now, in my courses, I teach when someone may come at you that you can tell is not feeling well, how to meet them where they're at, and then get high tone. So there's some layers to this, everyone, and going a little bit deeper down the rabbit hole. But just by understanding what feels good to you will help you then bring it to the world and start assessing other people's tone and knowing how to shift it. Again, there's other tools to help move into their tone and then raise them up too. But just moving the space is going to be really helpful with your communication, creating safety in the environment. Does that make sense to everyone? Yeah? Okay, wonderful. So the second step to this tool is telling your story. Okay, everyone, what I said at the beginning of this call, my journey, that I felt like I was always a fraud, that I was putting on, I was okay. I wasn't sharing with the team, maybe some struggles we were having as a business. And you guys, literally, when I shared with them the struggles is when they actually came in and just, we had the best month of our life. They were able to help me see a solution by being vulnerable, by telling a story. And you guys, by the way, it doesn't mean that everybody has to hear all the skeletons in your closet. That's not what I'm talking about. Remember, second step, use your intuition of what you need to share that maybe you're struggling with as a leader. You'd be surprised how much your story, your vulnerable story, your pain that you're experiencing right now will pull your team in. Maybe they can help you with the struggle. Maybe they have solutions. Maybe they have a talent that you can delegate the problem to. Everyone. And it starts by you getting used to telling your story and feeling safe in doing that. So I would love someone to volunteer right now. This is the last thing we're gonna end with, okay? And I would love someone just to come on with me right now and share their story about a teacher, their worst teacher and their best teacher, and why. Okay, if someone's willing to do that right now, I'm gonna stop share. We're just gonna practice this in real time to end with. Is there anyone on here that's willing to come off mute just to share with me in just a couple minutes your worst teacher, what you consider your worst teacher and why, and your best teacher and why? Okay. Anyone want to come off mute right now? Anyone's going to be brave enough. Anyone?
Okay.
Yes, perfect. Jessica, thank you so much. I'm honored that you're willing to do this. And remember, this is just us kind of hanging out, and I would love to just do this with you. And this is more of just a less vulnerable story, but it can be a really intensely vulnerable. So thank you for sharing. So Jessica, just in a minute or two, I'd love for you to share with me first, your teacher that maybe you felt, oh, you didn't have quite that connection with, wasn't a great teacher, and why, and your favorite teacher and that connection and why. I'd love you to share that.
So I think I remember one of my least favorite teachers as a high school history teacher who just seemed disconnected from the room usually. um, and I just was never like, history was my least favorite subject. And I really think that it had a lot to do with that teacher. He just felt disconnected from the room. Like he didn't really want to be there. He was sitting at the desk doing what he was supposed to be doing, but not really investing into us or the content even. Just sort of putting things out and then moving on. But one of my favorite teachers was always highly animated and very present and involved, and praised me, but would also tell me the negative things that I needed to hear. And I don't want to say negative things, because I guess they were like, just kind of slaps on the back of the head, like wake up. So, the good with the bad, but at least they're invested in connecting with you as opposed to just sitting there. Yeah.
I love this. I love this. So you guys, I was listening to her. Okay. Did you notice something, if any of you are watching, when she was talking about someone that she didn't really feel connected with versus someone that was connected to her, that invested in her? She knows what was happening. She was smiling more. She was using her hands more. You saw her posture change. Her tone changed. Did you guys notice that? And if you didn't, that's okay. So I wasn't just listening to what she was saying. I just repeated to her, you felt connected. You felt they invested in you. She's like, yes, right there. There's trust, right? She's like, she's listening to me. I'm leaning in and she's talking about her favorite teacher because I can feel her energy, and that's fanning her to want to talk about it more. Did you guys notice that? This is huge. And I want you guys to practice this. Just in this short example, she gave me something vulnerable. I repeated back to her some things she said, but I was watching something negative and positive. And wow, I want to see more of Jessica come out in this way positively. How can I amp this up in her in work, in her gifts, and read it and make sure it's something that she really enjoys, right? You guys, watching the body language, hearing her tone. I want you to practice this maybe with your team at some point. Maybe use it as just a little tool right before you start your team meeting. Okay, you guys, and start practicing on learning each other's body language and tone. Remember, it's more about how you're presenting versus what you're saying. It's so huge. It's so powerful. Does that make sense to everybody? Did that feel good? Thank you so much for sharing, Jessica. That was great. That was great. Just to answer a couple questions here while I'm off the screen from my screen share, because I have one more screen I want to share with all of you before we hike and everything. I know you said you're pretty intuitive, but I often ignore small voice. Christine, great. A lot of you are intuitive, but what did we say about decision? Go back to the tool of aligning with your core values, right? In your vision, and then the other sense. And that's going to help you trust a little bit more. And also connect with me, Christine. I'm going to give you some ways to connect with me afterwards if there's still some struggle with there, but that's going to help a lot with you, Christine. And then how do we listen to our intuition? We want to collaborate. You guys, it's just like any big decision. If you get a download that, hey, I want to connect with Jane Doe, and you're not even sure what the collaboration is, and it's a yes, it's a phone call. I'm very big, you guys, in either a phone call or a video or in person, because remember, it starts with that trust of connection, of tone and posture. So if you're interested in collaborating with someone and you don't sure if it's a yes or no, and not sure what it is, always connect with them via Zoom or at least a phone call or like a video message, you guys, because trust actually begins with their people, believe it or not, on your team or not, sales call or not, on a stage or not, is through your tone and body language, and whether they are balancing out with you and whether they can then trust you from that point on and have the conversation about the collaboration. So it's not so much about, is it a specific collaboration? That goes into details later, but that you gain their trust by this body language and tone we're talking about. So that was a great question. What I'd like to end with you guys, I know we're getting close on time here, and I just want to end with this. Real quick here. So that's again changing. So these are the things we went through, you guys. Whoops, I'm sorry. Wow, I'm getting a little quick here. Resolve the emotion, intuitively decide and articulate intelligently. Hopefully those tools helped a lot. You guys, let me know. DM me. I'm going to give you my next screen of ways to access me. This is all going to help you accelerate your profit and impact in your energy in powerful ways just by implementing these tools this week. And I want you to really feel comfortable to connect with me. I have a free guide for all of you. Do not leave yet because this is big for all of you. I have a free guide for all of you that I'm going to download where you can access that free guide in just a moment. If you have Instagram, you guys pull out your phones right now. This is the time you get to pull out your phone. Go to my Instagram account at @Jennifer_Watson. If you don't have Instagram, go to my LinkedIn account here at Jennifer-Watson. I know it's a long one, 6B08912. I'm going to give you those here. I want you to go to either one of those accounts right now. And what I'm going to drop in the chat box are those links if you guys want to look that up right now. So one is my Instagram, one's my LinkedIn. And if you guys go to that page and you message me guide, I'm going to give you even more details on all three of these tools by giving you a 3-video part series breathwork technique to help seal the deal on these for performance, helping manage anxiety, and a PDF on top 20 activities to help regulate emotion. Okay. So if you DM me in either one of those accounts, guide, I will send that to you. And you guys, before you go, and you get free access to my event, my virtual event I'm doing in May. That's going to be 2 days, free access to it. And I'll be giving deets on that when you actually go ahead and grab that guide. And we're going to be going through massive transformation and a lot of intuitive things that we've talked about today and going down the rabbit hole more. I want to give you guys even more next level leadership traits and get you ways to powerfully activate your voice even longer, even during adversity, during greatest transformational times in your business and beyond. So if you want that, go to either one of those links, drop and message me guide. You're gonna have access to that conference, access to the free guide. I'm all about free today, okay? Any other questions? And if other personal questions come up, you guys, you can DM me those as well. Anything else that you guys have right now? You're welcome, Katie. Thank you so much. Anyone else that wanna give? Okay, perfect, you guys. Thank you so much for joining. It was so much fun. And Taylor, thank you so much for having me. Taylor, if you have any questions.
Oh, I just wanted to say thank you so much, Jennifer. This was wonderful. I want to thank everyone for joining us. What a great way to spend an hour of the day kind of regrounding yourself and, learning those great tools. I know I'll be going forward using those as well.
Yes.
But yeah, appreciate your time today. If there's nothing else, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, but please make sure to check out other talent series. We do it every Tuesday at 11. So great resources on the website as well. So Thank you again and hope everybody has a great rest of your day.
Yes. Thank you, Christine and Jessica. And thank you so much for having me. You guys, it's an honor. And I look forward to connecting with you guys more. And I can't wait to see you again. Mwah.
Wonderful. All right.